today are pretty simple: to have a frank conversation about the state of educational performance in America and to talk about the implications of that performance to other sectors of national life.
Of the students that entered kindergarten in 2000, 1 in 10 was limited English proficient. 4 in 10 poor enough to qualify for free or reduced lunches. 7 in 10 not proficient in reading and math by the 4th grade. And 3 in 10 of all high school students will not graduate from high school on time.
But it is even more troubling that many children, particularly from underprivileged backgrounds, are simply not finishing high school. And we know that that means that fewer Americans are going to be prepared for the jobs of the 21st century.
I'm terrified with what's happening to us. Not that we're not trying in this country, because we have increased spending, but the rest of the world is doing something much better and much faster than we are, and they're passing us one after another.
Nations that do well are nations that understand and dignify the teaching profession.
Ben Franklin once said that the things we can do as separately are very minor compared to the things we can all do when we unite together.
So if you follow the trajectory of where we've been, we're at this conference and urgent call, we've been answering that urgent call. Parents are our partners.
And I think that that reflects something in society. That's a society saying that if you start kids wrong, you're always going to be in a remedial situation.
Candidates have debated intensely the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. They have debated health care. Education, however, is not central to the debate, even though our nation's students are not getting the educations they need.
There needs to be a roaring voice in this country that says explicitly, we are on the verge of an increased class and racial divide unless we deal quite directly with this as a civil rights and political issue.
The first thing I want to say is that we are falling behind the rest of the world at a faster rate. Secondly, there's real economic consequence to this.
In the words of that great poet, 2 roads are diverging in a wood, and the choice this country makes, that you make, will make all the difference.
But I think that if there's anything that we should put aside, political and ideological differences, and if there's anything that I think that we can have no sacred cows in, it's got to be education.
Parents need to be that first and last support for high standards in their local community. They need to be with their teachers, with school boards, with their principal, with their superintendent. What will my child come out? Is this diploma that you're going to give my child going to mean that they can go out and compete not just down the street, but in the global economy?
Each individual has a right to life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness, and we know that in today's world, the pursuit of happiness is a lot more fulsome and a lot more possible if you are educated.
You're not willing to say, I'm going to vote for someone who really believes not just in education, that's so easy, but education solutions. And part of that solution, absolutely, as we've heard today, has got to be maximum educational opportunities.
It's both having the politicians know what's right, which I think in this education debate, that's pretty clear to everybody. We're seeing it at this conference. Then it is giving them the support so that they can, in the political reality, do what's right.
President Lincoln said that America cannot long survive half-free. I believe it cannot long survive half-educated either.
Commit to their children, and they'll rise to that. Give them the freedom of action, and they'll do something very special. So what we're saying, let's just start by doing it.
I hope we'll come back to this very room or someplace here in Washington a year from now and really be able to report on the progress and have some concrete examples of how we're trying to coalesce, especially around these key principles of reform.